today. And she has an exam today, so I didn't want to bother her. However, she will be happy to speak with any one of you if, for example, you would like to, if you would like to catch up with Laras, ask her for her experience here in Spain directly. I will be more than happy. At the end of my presentation, I will share all my contact data with you guys, and you are free to contact me and ask me to put you in touch with Laras so we can discuss with her directly how it is for the Santo Paulo's student to actually come to Spain and study in Spain. All right, before I start my presentation, I wanted to show you a short video of how the experience of international students here in Spain looks like. Just to give you an idea, this video has been taken during the program called Spanish LCA. It's a program especially for international students preparing to join Spanish universities. That's actually the program that your senior Laras is taking right now. So here it goes. All right, so now let me move forward to my presentation. Of course, feel free to write your questions in the chat box. Also, towards the end of my presentation, you will be welcome to unmute your microphones if your teachers and the moderator allow you. And I can also reply to your questions if you want to ask them directly. All right, now I'm trying to share my screen with the presentation. All right, very good. So let me start by saying and introducing Campus Spain to you guys. My name is Gosia, and I am the Director of Admissions in this institution. I specifically work with students from Southeast Asian countries. So I will be mostly helping students from Indonesia and Malaysia, and also from Philippines, to come to this program to join Campus Spain. What is Campus Spain? Campus Spain is an institution which helps the Spanish government to promote Spain as a destination for education. Our job is to encourage international students to choose Spain for your foreign studies, and our job is to help you to make it possible. It's to help you with your prior arrangements, like your visa application, the election of the university, election of the program. But our job is also to take care of you guys, take care of the students, while once you are in Spain, to help you to make your experience here good, safe, and productive. So this is actually what Campus Spain does. Now, why do we think and why do we want to invite you guys today to study in Spain? You probably know Spain is in Europe, and you probably know it's one of the most visited countries by the tourists in the world. It's very famous for tourism. It is the second most visited country for tourists in the whole world, actually. But it's also a popular study destination. Actually, among European students, Spain is #1 study abroad destination. That means that if there is a student from Germany or Netherlands or I don't know, France, that decides to study abroad, their #1 election is to come to Spain, actually. Spain is one of the most developed countries and one of the economies in the world. It has a very solid democracy, and all that makes it a country of a very good and high quality of life. The infrastructure, the safety on the streets, the healthcare provided in Spain, it's all very top world-class quality. And of course, if you live in a country as a student, you also benefit from that. It is the safest country in Europe. It's a very tolerant and welcoming country. No matter where you come from, I can assure you won't feel any kind of discrimination. Some students from Asia are concerned about this when they come to Europe or when they study abroad. Spain is a very inclusive, very tolerant country. This program, Campus Spain, has been running for 8 years. We have never had experienced any kind of discrimination or any kind of safety problem towards our students. And I think especially these days, it's very important to share with you guys. Spain is a country when a girl can be alone, it's on street at night, coming back from a dinner with her friends, and I assure you she will be perfectly safe. All right, so if I was in your school and I asked you guys, okay, so what do you know about Spain so far? You'll be like, I don't know anything about Spain. I mean, it's a tiny country far away from Indonesia in Europe. You need like literally 14 hours by plane to reach Spain. What would I care? And what do I know about Spain? Nothing. And then when you think and dive a little bit deeper, you discover that there are some things from Spain that you actually know, use, and probably like. First of all, of course, sports. Spain is very famous for sports. If you live in Spain, you will become either Real Madrid or Barcelona fan. Of course, sports, football, tennis, basket, MotoGP are very famous coming from Spain. But this is not only an entertainment or training opportunity for you, it's also a study opportunity for international students. So a lot of international students who decide to study in Spain join sports-related degrees, but not only sports and physical education. In Spain, we also offer specific degrees to become a football coach. We offer degrees for sports management, sports business, sports law, and even specific programs for those of you who train football in Indonesia, where you can combine studying in the Spanish universities with training football in a professional football club here in Spain. Another sector Spain is very famous for is filmmaking, movie making. The only production hub of Netflix in Europe is based here in Spain, in Madrid. And some very famous Netflix series like La Casa de Papel, The Money Heist, or Elite, for example, are Spanish. So if you've seen some of them, you already had some first look at how Spain is and how Spanish language sounds. Spain is also very famous for tourism. I already told you we are the second most visited country by the tourists in the world, right after the United States of America. It's a country where you can learn how to ski in winter. Summer, you can go to some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. You can join some very unique cultural events and festivals, like, for example, the very famous Tomatina. You can see a photo of the Tomatina over here. So Tomatina is literally a huge tomato battle in the city center of one of the towns here in Spain, which means that people get together and they throw tomatoes at each other like crazy, okay? Sounds a little bit silly, but it comes from a long-standing tradition, and young people really enjoy it and have fun doing it. It's something unique. I mean, Spain is the only country where you can get into a tomato fight or into a bull run. So if you would like to experience something very different and very unique that you will remember for the rest of your life, you can discover very unique events and festivals here in Spain. Spain is also very, very famous for its architecture and infrastructure. Some of the most famous architects in the world are Spanish, and some of the most important architecture companies in the world are Spanish as well. Also, some of the best faculties of engineering and of architecture are here in Spain. If you take a look now at those brands you can see on your screens, hope you actually use some of those sometimes, like maybe Chupa Chups or Zara or Pull&Bear or Mango or Airbus or maybe Maria Hotels, Repsol. All the brands you can see on your screens right now, absolutely all of them are Spanish brands. So if you are thinking that maybe in your professional future, you would like to work in international fashion sector or international engineering sector or hospitality sector, then Spain is your country. Those companies are very willing to hire Indonesian students who graduated from Spanish universities for the international business for very high and of course very nicely paid positions. So if you would like to work in any of those companies, in any of those sectors, you should definitely consider studying in Spain, because that will be a very unique pathway for you to actually be hired by those companies. If Zara for Singapore, for example, Zara Singapore this is where the headquarters of Zara in Southeast Asia are located, has 2 job applications from recent university graduates, one coming from Spain, one graduating from Spain and another graduating from Australia. I assure you that Zara Singapore will hire the graduate from Spain, because it's a Spanish company, the headquarters are in Spain, and the owner of the company is a gentleman who actually does not even speak English. So this is something important to keep in mind if you're dreaming about an international career in international business, engineering, sports, or fashion. Moving forward to the universities in Spain itself, and this is the part when I will catch your attention for sure. In Spain, we have 50 public universities and 35 private universities. Today, I want to focus on public universities because I'm going to break some important news for you about the costs of studying in those public universities in Spain. You're probably thinking, studying in Europe is probably very expensive. This is not for me. My parents gonna kill me when I tell them I want to study in Spain, because they're gonna say it's very far away from home. It's a crazy idea, and on top of it, for sure, it's expensive. Okay, studying in public universities in Spain is subsidized by the Spanish government. That means that the government pays 90% of the tuition fees for students. In numbers, that means that if you study in a public university in Spain, whichever study major you choose, you will pay approximately 12 million rupias per year. 12 million rupias per year is 6 million per semester. This is how much international students from Indonesia pay to study in public universities in Spain. All public universities in Spain offer this privilege of highly subsidized tuition fees, and at the same time, all public universities in Spain are very highly ranked. All public universities in Spain, where you can study with those affordable tuition fees, are in 5% of the best universities in the world. So whichever public university you choose, you will be benefiting from top world-class education with affordable subsidized tuition fees, paying approximately 12 million rupias per year. Apart from choosing the country, if you decide to study in Spain, you will be choosing the continent. And if you study in Europe, you will have some very unique privileges and benefits that all students in Europe get. And I assure you, you won't get them in any other continent in the world. So first of all, once you reach Spain and you become a student of a Spanish university with your study visa to Spain, you will be free to actually not only stay in Spain, but also to travel to all other European countries. You won't need any extra visa to visit Germany, France, Italy, any other European country. They'll all be open for you to visit. Apart from that, given that Spain belongs to the European higher education area, your diploma from a Spanish university will be automatically recognized in 49 countries all over the world. That means that you can take part of your studies in any of those countries, or continue with masters, with PhD in any of those countries, or of course, start to work, start your professional career in any of those 49 member countries. Finally, and this is my favorite advantage of studying in Europe, once you are enrolled in a Spanish university, no matter where you come from, you will be able to benefit from European Union funded scholarships. And the nicest and the most famous scholarship scheme all international students in Spain can benefit from is called Erasmus+. With Erasmus+, you will be allowed to take 1 semester or 1 year of your studies in another European country. So let's imagine that Sucardi, our host today, starts to study in Spain and he takes a degree in business at the University of Valencia. Okay, after first year of his degree in business at the University of Valencia, Sucardi decides to move to France and study 1 year of his degree at the university in Paris. During that year, where Sucardi is an exchange student at the university in Paris, European Union gives him a scholarship. They literally pay him money every month to cover his living expenses, his accommodation, and his meals. This possibility of being an exchange student in another European country during 1 semester of 1 year with a scholarship is granted to every single student in a Spanish university. No matter which university you choose, which degree you study, you'll be allowed to have this experience in another country for 1 year. So this is something very unique, and I do encourage you, if you decide to study in Spain, go for the Erasmus+ scholarship. And moving forward to the rankings, Spanish universities, as I have told you, are all very highly ranked. All Spanish universities are in top 5% of the best universities in the world. But if you go to rankings by subjects, you will find Spain especially highly ranked for all types of engineering studies, also for tourism, hospitality, and culinary arts, and sports science. Spanish cities are among the most international students friendly cities, and some of our universities are in rankings for the quality of education, decent growth, and employability of the graduates. Another important aspect of studying in Spain I wanted to highlight for you guys is the language. As you probably know, and I know you know it because I know that Santo Paulo students are very smart students, European countries have their own languages. So in Germany, they speak German, right? In France, they speak French. In Italy, they speak Italian. And in Spain, we speak what? We speak Spanish. All right. So there is one important difference and crucial difference between Spanish and all other European languages. And that's the importance of the language. I don't know if you know, but the #1 most spoken language in the world is Chinese Mandarin. By the number of people using the language, the most spoken language in the world is Chinese Mandarin. And what is the second most spoken language in the world? I know you're probably thinking it's English, but it's not. It's Spanish. In the world, there are more people speaking Spanish than English. Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world, spoken as an official language in 21 different countries in the world, 21 countries. The same language, Spanish, is used in Puerto Rico, Argentina, Colombia, Mexico, Chile, Peru, and so on, up to 21 countries. Exactly the same language. Many students from your generation already know that. That's why in 71 countries in the world, Spanish is already the most studied foreign language. So many students from your generation who already speak English take the opportunity while they're at the university to learn another foreign language. You will most likely need to know 2 foreign languages when you graduate from university to look for a good job. And the second foreign language is usually Spanish. And the very good news for you guys, since you Bahasa Indonesia native speakers, is that actually Spanish is very easy for you. I'm not joking. I know it sounds strange, but Bahasa Indonesia and Spanish are very similar. We share a lot of words. So only if you hear a word in Spanish once, it's very likely you will remember it forever. I'm going to give you some examples. The shoe in Spanish is zapato. Flag in Spanish is bandera. We say permiso. You guys say permisi. We say sábado, domingo, iglesia, mesa, camisa, gratis. There are a lot of words. You only hear them once, and you're going to know them in Spanish forever. Spanish is ranked as one of the easiest languages to learn. There is a ranking of languages by difficulty. You can check it, and you're going to find that Spanish is #1 easiest language to learn category. So it's easy for you to learn, and at the same time, it's the second most spoken language in the world. Do the maths, guys. It's a very good idea for you to choose this language as the second foreign language you're going to learn. One more important data about the language, very interesting data. I don't know if you know, right now in the United States of America, very important country worldwide, more than 20% of people are already Spanish, not English, Spanish native speakers. But in 30 years from now, the United States will become the biggest Spanish speaking country in the world, which means that very soon in the US, there will be more people speaking Spanish than English. Actually, if you go to US, if you visit New York or you visit Miami, forget about speaking English. I went to those two cities hoping to practice some English, but in New York and in Miami, absolutely everyone speaks Spanish. The song, you know, very famous song, Despacito, you know it? Well, Despacito song is in Spanish, but it was made in the United States, in Puerto Rico, which is an associated state of the United States, and it's a Spanish-speaking area. Okay, so there are already a lot of international companies, big international companies, international non-governmental organizations, international organizations. When to be hired, knowing Spanish is a must. There are many big companies who oblige their employees to learn Spanish or which pay higher salaries to those employees who speak Spanish. And again, for you guys, you have this huge privilege that since you already speak Bahasa Indonesia, learning Spanish will be very easy for you. Of course, Spanish language also plays an important role in Spanish universities. Some universities, very few of them, however, would be delivering degrees entirely taught in English. So if you really don't want to study in Spanish and you want your degree to be 100% English taught, you can opt for one of those universities, which I marked in yellow color. However, those universities that teach entirely in English only offer very limited number of degrees. Those degrees are mostly related to business and tourism and hospitality. And those universities that offer entirely English taught programs are usually private universities. And in those private universities, 100% of the tuition fees must be paid by the students. There is no subsidy from the government of state, and therefore the tuition fees for fully English taught programs are very expensive. However, if you decide to opt for one of the green options, the public universities in Spain, your tuition fees will be very affordable, and you will be paying 12 million rupias, approximately 12 million rupias per year. However, you will need to know some Spanish first. Why? Because part of the subjects in public universities is taught in Spanish. Part is taught in English and part is taught in Spanish. These are bilingual universities. And for some of the subjects, international students are expected to use Spanish in the classroom. Even if you will receive linguistic support in English, you can take tutorials in English, use English study materials. You do need prior level of Spanish to join those public universities. But in exchange for that, what the Spanish government says is, you know my language. Okay, now I pay for your education. And therefore, as you can see on your screens, local governments of all Spanish regions offer a scholarship, a discount in tuition fees to students who join public universities. Most of the regions, as you can see, are marked in green at the map. That means that yearly tuition fees for international students in those regions amount between 600 and 1,500 euros per year. This is approximately 12 to 18 million Indonesian rupiahs per year. This is how much you need to study this is how much you need to pay to study in some of the top world-class international universities in Spain. Now, what do you need? What the international students coming from SMA Santo Paulus need to be admitted to public universities in Spain and benefit from those highly subsidized tuition fees? You don't need any entry exams, no GMAT, no IELTS, no TOEFL, no SAT. You're gonna need a Spanish language certificate though. Of course, some subjects are taught in Spanish. You need to prove you have prior level of Spanish, B1 or B2. Don't worry, you don't need to learn Spanish in Indonesia. I know you don't speak Spanish at all right now, or maybe you only know some basics. International students, before they start a proper degree, they come to Spain, to Vigo, to the University of Vigo, and take preparatory language program at the State University of Vigo here in Spain. And once they get the language certificate in this preparatory language program, then they continue with their degree. This language program, preparatory language program, is what your senior Laras from your school is taking right now here in Spain, actually. Apart from the Spanish language certificate, the only document you will need to be admitted to Spanish public university will be your final high school diploma, the one that says LULUS, and your transcripts of records, your results from your grade 10, 11, and 12 of high school. That's it. Nothing else will be needed. So how do you learn Spanish? How do you get this language certificate you need to be admitted to public universities and pay 12 million rupiahs per year for your studies? As you can see, we have this preparatory language period, language course called Spanish LCA. And the name starts from Spanish language, culture, and adaptation to university. It's a language foundation program for international students that need to prepare language skills before they can continue with bachelor's degrees in Spain. Here it says the preparatory program takes 1 year, but actually it's shorter, it's 7 to 10 months. So if you decide to study in Spain, you will be coming to Vigo, to the University of Vigo, and during 7 to 10 months before you start your degree, you will be in this program. The program is called Spanish LCA, Language, Culture, and Adaptation to University. It's designed specifically for international students, and it's actually quite popular among students from Indonesia to prepare their language and academic skills to continue to public universities in Spain afterwards. During this program, students join Spanish language classes. From Monday to Friday, you have regular Spanish language classes at the State University of Vigo. You start with 0, no prior level of Spanish is required, and you will end this program with B2 level of Spanish. B2 is an independent user of Spanish. You will be able to understand and express spoken and written any kind of concept, any kind of idea. Apart from the language, during Spanish LCA program, students enjoy the country. I already told you Spain is the second most visited country in the world. It's a wonderful country with great food, beautiful places, beautiful beaches, amazing museums. You probably know Picasso, for example, was Spanish. So we want you to experience all that. 30% of Spanish classes in the Spanish LCA program are conducted outside the classroom during trips to other cities, workshops in museums, Spanish cooking class, going to a football game in the stadium. We do all that with the students using Spanish during those activities. That helps students a lot to learn Spanish while they also enjoy the country and start to feel like Spain is actually their second home. And finally, during Spanish LCA program, students join adaptation to university. So these are classes where we teach you how to adapt, how to prepare to be a successful student of a degree studies in Spain, how to prepare your exams, your assignments, how to use the library, and so on and so on. During this adaptation to university part of the preparatory program, we also help you to choose the university to which you will continue after the preparatory LCA course. Why? Because Spanish LCA, this preparatory course, is delivered by the State University of Vigo, which is here in the north of Spain, very close to the border with Portugal at the Atlantic Ocean. This is where I am right now. However, after taking Spanish LCA program, our students can decide either they want to continue at the University of Vigo for their degrees, or if they want to change to other city like Barcelona, Valencia, Sevilla, whichever Spanish city you choose. Okay, we help you, we give you all the options, we inform you about options you have, we help you to choose, and then we also take care of your enrollment at the university you have chosen. So our students only need to focus on learning Spanish. We will take care of the election of the university and the admission and enrollment to the university in other city that you have chosen. So this is Vigo. This is where I am right now. This is where you will be coming for the first year, first 7 to 10 months of the language preparation at the University of Vigo. This is where your senior colleague Laras is right now, enjoying the Atlantic Ocean. It's a very safe, very friendly city. It has 22,000 students, which means that while you learn language, you literally make friends with students from all over the world. Given that you are coming to a country which is not an English-speaking country, we'll help with everything. You don't have to worry about any complication you may have because you don't understand the language at the beginning. Before you come to Spain, we're going to help you to apply for your study visa. Once you are in Spain, we're going to pick you up from the airport. So somebody will be waiting at the airport for you, take you from the airport straight to the dorm, show you around the city, give you a Spanish SIM card, open your Spanish bank account, teach you how to use the bus, how to do shopping in the supermarket. And then during the whole first year, during the preparatory LCA program, we will provide you and your parents with 24/7 emergency contact. If you need to see a doctor, if you have any kind of emergency, you lost the key to your room in the dorm, you can contact us and we will help you to solve it. All right, I'm almost done, guys. Just a brief summary of the budget. Here is the summary of the costs and the budget students need to join this program. As you can see, Spanish LCA has its own tuition cost. It's 7,500 euros. This amount includes tuition fees at the University of Vigo. Also, all the outside the classroom treats and activities are included here. Your private medical insurance in Spain and all Campus Spain assistance like visa application support, airport pickup, all of that is already included. This money is an investment in the language certificate, in the language. Once you get the official language certificate for Spanish, you will gain access to public education in Spain, and therefore your tuition fees for degree studies will be much, much cheaper, approximately, again, 12 million rupias per year only. So even if you sum the cost of the first year, which is higher because the government does not pay for students' education until they don't know the language, but if you sum up the cost of this first year and of the following 4 years divided by 5, you will discover that average yearly cost of studying in Spain is cheaper than studying in a, and you need less budget than to study in a private university in Jakarta. Okay, so if you're considering going to Jakarta to study in a private university, there with the same budget, you can come to Spain and study in Spain. Also, cost of living in Spain are very affordable. I know you have an idea that European countries are very expensive in terms of cost of living. So take a look at this comparison of the cost of living here in Spain versus other popular study abroad destinations. You can see that, for example, the dorm, the most important part of the international students' budget here in Spain, the dorm costs approximately 300 euros per month. If you compare to UK, US, or even our neighbor France, it's 2 or 3 times more. So basically, the cost of living for international students in Spain are very affordable and pocket-friendly. International students can also have part-time jobs. You can work up to 20 hours per week, both inside and outside the campus. And you can actually earn enough money to cover all your living expenses with your own part-time jobs. Spanish LCA program has 2 intakes every year. You can either start in January or October. So now for grade 12 students, if you decide to join this program, you should be targeting the October 2022 batch. So you would be coming here to Spain at the very beginning of October 2022. To apply for this program, and the October 2022 batch is already open for applications, you should fill in the application form. To get it, you should contact me. send it back to us together with your passport and with your grade 11 transcript of records. That means that you should apply before you graduate from high school. You should actually apply somewhere around February, March 2022, the latest, because this is usually when all the seats in the program are already taken. But if you want to apply already now, it's also a good idea. It's totally free. There are no application fees, so you can just ask for the application form and start the application procedure. Once we revise your application form and your high school grades from grade 11, we are going to invite you for a short Zoom interview. And if everything goes well, you get admitted to the program. We're going to issue the reservation fee invoice. The reservation fee is not an extra fee, it's not an admission fee, it's just a prepayment of the first installment of the tuition fees for LCA program. And then we will tell you every single step of the visa application procedure, and we're going to help you to get your study visa to Spain. Don't worry about visas. We are very good friends with the Spanish consulate in Jakarta. We will help you to get visa. It will be very smooth, and we will actually prepare most of the documents for you. So there's nothing to worry about. All right, guys, this is my contact data. You have my WhatsApp number here. You have my email address here. If you would like to organize an individual Zoom session, especially grade 12 students, if you would like to organize an individual Zoom session with you, maybe also with your parents, to discuss study options in Spain, so that I can confirm to your parents the cost, confirm it really costs 12 million rupias per year to study in Spain, please just drop me an email or send me a WhatsApp to this number, and I will be happy to organize such a Zoom meeting with your parents. I will be also happy to put you in touch with Benedicta, with Lara, sorry, your senior from SEMA Santo Paulo, so that she can share her experience here in Spain from the first hand. Also, if, for example, you would like to study architecture or business or sports management here in Spain, and you would like to receive the list of all Spanish universities that offer this specific study major, just send me an email or WhatsApp, and I will share the list of all universities that offer the specific degree with the exact tuition fees, with the links to the websites of the universities that offer this major. Just drop me an email or WhatsApp. I'll be happy to hear from you guys. Also, if you don't follow Campus Spain on Instagram yet, our Instagram account is Campus Spain. This is where we tell you about the progress of our international students, how are the facilities at the University of Vigo. So if you would like to stay in touch with us through Instagram, we will be happy to have you as our followers. All right, thank you very much. Before I move forward to questions, I still wanted to share one more video with you guys. This video includes testimonials of our students who went through the Spanish LCA program. It also includes testimonials of many students coming from Indonesia. So let them speak to you now and share their experience with you. All right, so I will be sharing this video with you right now. All the video was taken during Spanish LCA program in Vigo city. So thanks to this video, you can also see how the city looks like, what kind of activities students have taken during the program. All right, here it goes.
मैं यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट हूँ और स्पेनिश सीख रहा हूँ। ये लैंग्वेज 21 कंट्री में बोली जाती है।
I've chosen Spain to study Spanish because Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world.
The reason why I choose Spain is because I want to learn Spanish, because Spanish is one of the official languages in United Nations.
是的，我觉得西班牙是一个很开放的国家，也是一个很不错的国家，因为它的生活水平不错，然后它的食物也蛮好吃的。
Spain is a great place. I think you can meet a lot of diverse people here, of different cultures and different backgrounds, especially in the LCA program.
Menurut saya Spanyol itu seperti rumah kedua saya. Karena apa? Di sini tidak berbeda jauh dengan Indonesia juga.
mereka ngajak gue nonton bola Celta Vigo lawan Real Betis, dan itu asik lah.
La actividad que me gusta mucho es cuando cocinamos la gastronomía de España, así como paella y también tortillas de patatas, y es muy rico.
मैं सबसे ज़्यादा लाइक करती हूँ कि जब हम लोग पूरी क्लास के साथ फुटबॉल का मैच देखने गए थे इन स्टेडियम.
Yo creo que no es muy difícil para mí aprender español aquí en Vigo, en España, porque puedo salir de casa para encontrar la gente en la calle, puedo practicar con ellos, y también las profesoras en la escuela de Universidad de Vigo son muy buenas, porque pueden enseñarme perfectamente.
Los profesores de Universidad de Vigo son muy profesionales y amables y simpáticos, entonces podemos estudiar español con una velocidad muy rápido.
我们刚到西班牙的时候，会有人帮我们处理全部一切，包括住宿。过后读完这个 course 过后，他们都会帮我们处理大学的东西，我们完全不用操心。然后当你生病的时候，他都会带你去看医生，你不用太担心什么东西。
我就很感激 Campus Spain 带我们来参观这里啊那里啊，都是非常漂亮的地方，然后都是非常的著名，感觉就非常棒棒的。
Luar biasa lah pokoknya, mantep.
I would really recommend this to everyone who wants to discover new culture, such as the Spanish culture. It's something magical, something amazing.
I highly recommend this course because not only I learn about the language, Spanish, I also get the opportunity to experience life as a Spanish.
जो भी स्टूडेंट यहाँ पे आना चाहते हैं मैं सभी को यही रेकमेंड करूँगी कि आपको किसी भी चीज़ के लिए वरीड होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि कैंपस स्पेन के जो हमारे टीचर्स हैं वो हमारी हर चीज़ में हेल्प करते हैं. सो मैं यही रेकमेंड करूँगी कि आपको स्पेन में स्टडी करने के लिए आना चाहिए और किसी भी चीज़ के लिए वरी नहीं होना चाहिए आपको.
I would advise you guys to keep a very open mind because the culture here is very different, but as well enjoy yourself as much as you can.
It's an experience never to be forgotten and just something I really enjoyed.
Okay, everyone. Thank you very much for your attention. Since we still have some time, I will be happy to reply to your questions. I can see some questions have appeared in the chat box, so let's get to it. Also, if any one of you would like to speak up, maybe ask a question by unmuting the microphone, raise your hand, please, and I think our moderators will also agree for that. And I will be very happy to hear from you guys. Okay, the questions from the chat box are there any change or impact of services preparation to the first year study that offered by Campus Spain since COVID-19 pandemic occurred? All right, no, guys, I mean, here in Europe, and especially here in Spain, everyone who's over 12 years old has been fully vaccinated already. The cases are quite low, and there are no further COVID restrictions. The classes are entirely in the classroom, entirely, there's no online education in Spain since September 2020, okay? There are no restrictions, no curfews, no quarantine, even if you didn't get your vaccine yet in Indonesia, but I think that everyone at your school already have, but if you haven't, you are still allowed to come to Spain as a student. And upon your arrival to Spain, you will get a free vaccine. There is no need of quarantine, no online classes, no COVID restrictions. The only rule related to COVID in force right now in Spain is that when you're indoors, like for example, at the university, you need to wear a face mask. And that's it. So the situation is quite safe, and we just started our October 2022 batch, 2021 batch. This is the batch that Lara from your school has joined, and you can check with her. She's going to classes every day, and it's absolutely in classroom education. Yes, you don't need, the other question is vaccination a requirement? No, you don't need vaccination certificate to come to Spain as a student. You would need it if you are coming as a tourist. If you want to come to Spain just for tourism, just for fun, you need the vaccination certificate. But if you're coming as a student, students are very welcome to Spain. International students are welcome to Spain, and therefore you don't need to prove vaccination certificate. If you want, you can get a free European vaccine upon your arrival. All right, more questions. What field is this usually in? What field is it usually in? Arif, if I understand your question correctly, you're asking what field is this usually? You mean what fields of study students usually take? What majors students study here in Spain? In Campus Spain represents all Spanish universities, which means that you can take a degree in any Spanish university. After Spanish LCA program, you can study whatever you want. You can study business, engineering, architecture, tourism, hospitality, sports, medicine, whatever it is that you want to study. All Spanish degrees existing, you can be admitted to them through Campus Spain. Now, what the most popular degrees are among international students that study in Spain, it's probably business, because if you combine business with knowing Spanish, it's very perspective and will give you very unique professional opportunities and the top employability. So a lot of international students choose business. We also have quite a lot of students from Indonesia who choose to study law, international business, again, culinary arts, hospitality, or some art-related degrees like fine arts, art renovation, design, audiovisual communication, and similar. All right, good. More questions. Is there a dormitory or place to live that has been provided to overseas students? Yes, of course. When you join the program, we will book the student's dorm for you, where you will be staying. So you don't have to worry about arranging your accommodation by yourself. How long will it take course to study Spanish? Maria Olga, Spanish LCA course takes 7 to 10 months. If you join the October batch takes 10 months. So you will be studying Spanish for 10 months and you will go from 0 to B2 level of Spanish in 10 months. All right, more questions. Can we still go to Spain even if we only speak English? Leila, as mentioned during my presentation, in Spain, there are few universities that only teach in English, but these are private universities. So if you really, really want to study in English only, you could take business or hospitality degree in a private university, but those universities are very costly. You need to pay approximately 10,000, 12,000 euros per year, which is approximately 150 million rupias per year. Meanwhile, if you learn some Spanish, you can study in a public university and you pay the 12 million rupias per year. Is security in Spain awake? Spain is #1 safest country in Europe. Safety in Spain is extremely, extremely good. We have never had any safety incident. I had students who left their iPhones in the bus, and literally what happened, guys, was that people were calling them to give the iPhones back to them. These are real stories, okay? It's a very safe city, very safe country. There is no safety concern of any type. I mean, I live in Spain, I feel very safe here. All our students, they've never had any safety incident, but when I travel, for example, to UK or France, especially Paris, I feel less safe than in Spain, for example. I feel much safer in Spain. Okay, more questions. What is the most taken major by Indonesian students? Sukardi already replied to this one, probably before you wrote, after you wrote this question. So These are mostly business-related majors, also art, design, engineering, culinary arts, hospitality, and law. All right. I think I've managed to reply to all your questions, Guy. Anyone who would like to ask any other question, please let us know. If not, what I am going to do is to share with you once again the slide with my contact data. I want to make sure you take a photo of this slide and or a screenshot of the slide, and we keep in touch. Really, guys, even if you only want to ask about the weather in Spain or the food in Spain, or if you want to speak to Laras, please feel free to WhatsApp me or email me, and we can keep in touch this way. Okay, Leo has a question. What is the most favorite campus in Spain? Most of students really like to stay at the University of Vigo after they graduate from LCA program. This university is especially famous for international business degree, covers business, law business, and all types of engineering studies. Many students would also be willing to go to Valencia. Valencia is a very famous city. It has it's a beautiful city at the Mediterranean Sea. It has a very famous and very highly ranked university. So we have quite a lot of engineering students at the University of Valencia as well. And University of Seville, for example, another university, very friendly for international students, very affordable university. The university that's 600 years old, so it's at the same time very prestigious and has a very long-standing tradition. More questions, Paul, Richard. Are there any information technology courses there? Yes, guys, again, every degree is offered, okay? So also IT courses are offered. If you would like to ask for any specific degree, if you would look, for example, if Richard, you would like to receive the list of all Spanish universities offering degree in IT, feel free to WhatsApp me or email me and I will send the list to you. Another question here, are there any scholarships for overseas students? Yes, 90% scholarship in the tuition fees. The fact that instead of 10,000 you pay 600 euros per year for your degree is because the government of Spain gives you 90% scholarship, okay? So this is the main scholarship you will receive. For the living expenses in Spain, since you are allowed to have part-time jobs, usually they won't be scholarships to cover your living expenses, because if you need some financial aid, you can easily earn it just with few hours of part-time job. What is offered are the scholarships while you're an exchange student. So when you go to another European country to study, you will get a scholarship, Erasmus Plus scholarship I've mentioned during my presentation, that will allow you to cover all your living expenses while you're an exchange student. It's also possible to study totally for free from the second year of your degree onwards if your academic results are good. In this case, from the second year of your degree, you can get a full scholarship. You can also get some scholarships covering your living expenses. All right, I think I've managed to cover with all your questions. Thank you again very, very much, guys. It was a pleasure to be in your school today. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and hope that especially grade 12 students found this program interesting and will be contacting me very, very soon, just to ask more questions and gather more comprehensive information. Thank you again. Terima kasih. Muchas gracias. And see you in Spain.
Okay, thank you for your presentation and the specific information about Campus Spain, Ms. Gosia. Okay, I believe that students got an overview about the Campus Spain and the universities or in Spain course. Okay, before you left, I want to take a picture together with the students. Oke ya, jadi kita ngambil foto ya bersama Miss Gosia. Jadi kameranya mohon dihidupkan.
I don't know if you have realized, guys, but I'm also wearing batik today since it's Friday.
Ya, kameranya
I
dihidupkan
am
ya.
prepared for the photo.
Oke. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you, Miss Gosia. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Take care, guys. Stay safe and have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.